Hello and a warm welcome to Sharat Chandra IAS Academy, where your dreams are our mission. This is Yatharth here. In today's video, we'll be discussing about places in news that are important for prelims 2024. So let's see which places are we going to cover. These are Mount Ruang. This is a volcano or volcanic island in Indonesia. Next, we'll be talking about the Henan Free Trade Port. So this is in China. We'll see where is it located and what is its significance. Then we'll talk about the Kra Canal and the important straits near the South China Sea and Indian Ocean. Alright, next we'll be talking about the Rafah as well as the West Bank, where they are located and what are the location of countries near these areas. Next we'll be talking about the Myanmar's Thailand border and the Moi River. This can be asked directly in the prelims. That where is this river located and why is it in news? Alright, next we will be talking about the Philippines. Why is it in news with regards to India? Okay, there has been a transfer of technology, so we will see what technology has been transferred. Next, we will be talking about the Kutch mine. So, a snake fossil has recently been discovered there. So, we will see the location of Kutch in India. Along with this, we will be talking about the fossil itself. And lastly, we will talk about the Bengaluru's Kempengoda International Airport. So, we will see why this airport is in news. All right, let's start. One more thing, we'll be covering multiple other static topics as well, which you will come to know as we go about this lecture. Okay, so the first thing is the Mount Ruang. All right, now you can see a volcano here. Just a second. So you can see the ashes literally coming out of the volcano sort of thing here. We can see. Okay, and you can see this volcano is rather conical. Okay, in a short area, it's uplifted a bit. So more than 2,100 people living near an erupting volcano on Indonesia's Sulawesi Island. Which island? Sulawesi Island. Sulawesi Island were evacuated due to the dangers of spreading ash, fallen rocks, volcanic clouds, and possibility of a tsunami. Okay, so this can trigger a tsunami in the ocean here. Alright, and Ruang is the southernmost stratovolcano. Which sort of volcano is it? Stratovolcano. I'll just mark it here. Ruang is here, you can see there, and it is a stratovolcano. Okay, strata means layers. We all know strata means layers. Okay, and these are also sort of the conical volcanoes. So we'll talk about this. What are stratovolcanoes? This is the static and basic portion that I was talking about. So please notice the location that it is in Indonesia and this part. Okay, very close to the southern end of the Philippines. Okay, here between the Celebes Sea and the Banda Sea here. Okay, we'll be talking about multiple straits also in the, like this is the Strait of Malacca here. So we'll be talking about the Strait of Malacca. We'll be talking about the Sunda Strait. All right, and the Lombok Strait and so on. Okay, so this is very important that we have a relative idea. We'll also be talking about, let's say, this portion, the Myanmar Thailand border, the Maui River is flowing here. Okay, so this is the portion that we'll be talking about. This is China, so this is the Henan province. So we'll be talking about this also. Okay, so this lecture is concentrated more towards the this South China Sea and the Indian Ocean. Okay, now let's go about this specific news. So Ruang is the southernmost stratovolcano. I'll be writing here important things here. We are talking about the Ruang volcano. It is in Indonesia. And where in Indonesia? Sulawesi Island. Sulawesi Island. Okay, and what type of volcano is it? It is a stratovolcano. They are also known as composite volcano or conical volcano. Conical volcano. Okay, so we'll see why they are named so. All right, now what is the issue here? There is a possibility of volcanic clouds, etc., and tsunami. All right, now we'll see the top of the mountain is partially filled with a lava dome. Okay, the top of the mountain is partially filled with a lava dome. Lava is found here. So it is an active volcano. All right, and there was a result. It is a result of activity in 1904. So it's sort of an active volcano, and since then, volcanic activity has been observed through the formation of lava domes and pyroclastic flows. What we are talking about, the pyroclastic flows. All right. Now let's talk about the stratovolcano itself. So it is also known as composite volcano, and it is a type of a conical volcano. Okay, where what happens? Built up by many layers or stratas. Built up by many layers or stratas, and these stratas are formed by the hardened lava and tephra. Hardened lava plus tephra. So what is this tephra? Okay, lava we all know that lava is the molten material that comes out of any volcano from the deeper layers of earth. Now what is this tephra? Okay, this can be asked in prelims. So stratovolcanoes are characterized by steep profile first of all, with a summit crater like this. Okay, and periodic interval of explosive eruptions. So we can see 1904 and now 2024. Okay, and effusive eruptions, although some have collapsed summit craters called calderas. So some of them have collapsed summit craters like this, and these are known as caldera. Alright, now let's talk about tephra. What is this tephra? So it is fragmented material produced by a volcanic eruption, regardless of composition, fragment size, or emplacement mechanism. Okay, so whatever comes out of a volcano except for lava is basically tephra. Alright, so tephra can also be known as the pyroclast. And once these clasts have fallen to the ground, once these clasts, let's say they come out of here, whether it is, let's say, ash, whether it is any other sort of material, when it comes to the ground, so they remain as tephra unless hot enough to fuse into pyroclastic rock or tuff. Okay, so first they remain as tephra, then they fuse into the rock systems and keep forming these stratas of the volcano. All right, so this can include the ash, cinder, and blocks also. And these layers settle on the land, and over time, sedimentation occur, incorporating these tephra layer into the geological record. So what can happen? Let's say you go to such a volcano, the sort of volcano, stratovolcano, and you start digging. Okay, so what you will find? You will find the cinder blocks. Okay, you may find some ash sedimentation here. Okay, so this is known as tephra, and rest is known as lava. So these both are pyroclastic flows of any volcano. All right, now let us see one more thing, that here you can see the continental shelf. Just a second. This is the ocean shelf you can see here. Okay, so this area has large volcanic activity. These are the sort of islands which have come over the ocean. Okay, this is Ruang, such as this. Okay, the base of the Ruang must be very deep in the ocean, and this shelf is so much like this. Okay, so there is a high volcanic activity. And I already told you it's sort of ring of fire. It's also known as the ring of fire. And that is because of multiple tectonic plates. Multiple tectonic plate activity in here. Alright, now let's see forward. The next one, next place in news, that is the Henan Free Trade Port. So earlier we are seeing the Ruang. We can come here down to the south of Philippines. Okay, just here. And now we are moving towards here. Okay, we are going towards the northwest side, and we arrive here at the Henan province of the China. This is China, not a good friend of ours. All right, and it has in its south this Henan province. Now, what is happening in the Henan province? Why is it in news? All right, let us see to that first of all. So Henan is lush tropical island, is not very far from Philippines. Okay, it is a lush tropical island and not very far from Philippines. So, amidst the tensions in South China Sea, China says Henan Free Trade Port construction has gained momentum. So, basically, China is building another infrastructure here. And what is the, let's say, motive? Okay, so here they have a lower geographical altitude, which makes the cargo shipping easy from here. All right, so it will promise some GDP growth. It will also promise some trade and shipping growth, actually. Okay, so let's talk about this Henan. So it is a lush tropical island and not very far from the Philippines. That is the first thing we should know coming back to here. And there have been tensions between both these countries because of the disputed South China Sea. And China aims to establish around 35,000 square kilometer. How much? 35,000 square kilometer island as China's most open economic region by 2025. That means the next year. So it is wanting it as a trade center. All right. The ultimate goal is to build a tropical Dubai in the middle of the South China Sea by 2035. So they are trying to replicate the Dubai model. Okay, Dubai model plus trade hub. Okay, tropical Dubai model plus trade hub. The governor said that the government will also focus on the aerospace industry, as Henan is ideally suited for the development of the aerospace industry due to its geographical latitude. Alright, due to its geographical latitude. Also, it is China's largest free trade port. Okay, it is China's largest free trade port. Free trade port. China's largest. And host of the Bao Forum. Which forum? BOAO, Bao Forum, an annual meeting of political and business leaders dubbed Asia's Davos. Asia's Davos. So these are the facts which can be asked. Henan is also home to the Wenchang Space Launch Site, located on the island's northeastern edge. Here, all right. And why is it selected? Because of its low latitude. The Wenchang site allows for the heavy payload required for launching China's new space station, the Tiangong. Okay, so basically, what do we gain overall here? That first of all, they are trying to make it a free trade area. Okay, developing the Dubai model, second thing, and third for the aerospace industry. All right, this is why it's in news. So just take care of this area. Now let us talk about the Kra Canal and the Straits. All right. So as we see here in the map, there are multiple important standpoints in this. When we come from the South China Sea and the Indian Ocean towards this Bay of Bengal and sort of the surrounding areas, we see multiple important areas. These are the important port cities such as the Chittagong, the Sitwe, the Kolkata, all right, the Vishakhapatnam, the Chennai port here, and the Hambantota port here, on which China has a site. All right. Again, in the last lecture, we talked about the Coco Island. These belong to the Myanmar, and the China also has a site on these. Okay, so China's growing influence is a very issue, let's say trouble creating for the India. So here we see the Nicobar Island and the Andaman Island here. Okay, we also talked about the Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose Island, on which the cheetal have become an invasive species. So these are all places in news. We talk about the Sabang also, and this is the proposed Kra Canal. So we'll see what is the Kra Canal. It is proposed by Thailand. Okay, and what is the role of any canal? The role of any canal is the flow of water from here to there. So from two water bodies, let's say it is they are trying to make a canal here. So instead of going from Strait of Malacca, any ship will be able to sail directly from here to here. Okay, so they are trying to propose a Kra Canal. Let's talk about this also. Just a second. All right. So this is the South China Sea. We were talking about this and surrounding areas, and this is the Krabi Trang Phenukul Naung Sea something. All right, not very important for us, but here this point A 9A lies. Okay, now what we are seeing, the Gulf of Thailand. If somebody wants to go from Gulf of Thailand to the Andaman Sea, they will face a barrier here at this Thamas of Kra, and now they are trying to make a canal here directly, so the ship can directly come to the Andaman Sea, and this can be an issue for the India. All right, as it is let's say growing the influence of China and making it far easier for it to come here. Okay, because this was a choke point earlier. Now this is lying more or less in the international waters, but this can be proposed directly by the Thailand. All right, and one more thing, it will lessen the shipping route to furthermore Hong Kong and vice versa. All right, now what we see, the important things here, that Sabang in Indonesia, this Sabang here. Okay, it is in Indonesia, only 90 nautical miles southeast of Indra Point on Great Nicobar Island. Alright, so very close to India. And second thing, Coco Island from the Myanmar. They are also barely 18 nautical miles from the northmost tip of the Andamans. So we already talked about them in the last lecture. Now, should Thailand build the Kra Canal connecting the Gulf of Thailand with the Andaman Sea, its mouth would be around 350 nautical miles east of the Port Blair. Okay, this is the Port Blair, capital of Andamans. So very close to the Port Blair again. Okay, now a serious challenge could emanate from a buildup of Chinese maritime forces at the eastern choke point of Indo-Pacific. All right, so what can happen that if the Chinese forces or Chinese security forces, they take all the important straits, all the important straits in the South China Sea and the Indian Ocean, then it can be issue for us. And with this, we are seeing what? That they are slowly, okay, slowly concentrating the circle around us. Okay, so this can be an issue for us. Now let's talk about the first and most important strait. This is the Malacca Strait. Okay, so this is what they are trying to bypass with the Kra Canal here. With the Kra Canal here, this is what they are trying to bypass. All right, here we can see the countries also. Just a second. Okay, so here we see this and lengthened Myanmar and Malaysia and Singapore here very small. Okay, so they are trying to bypass this Indonesia, Malaysia, this thing. Okay, this canal here. So this is the strait known as the Malacca Strait. And very, very busy strait, one of the most busiest strait of the world. Okay, now let's come to the Sunda Strait. Sunda Strait between Java and Sumatra. So both are part of Indonesia. Here this is Indonesia collectively and this is known as the Java Sea. Okay, so this is between this strait. Okay, it is between Indian Ocean and the Java Sea. This is known as the Sunda Strait or Sunda Strait. Please remember these straits. They are very, very important, and also keep remembering the name of the countries. So this is the part of Malaysia and Malaysia here. Singapore very small here. Okay, Brunei here. Very important country again. Indonesia. There are East Timor here. Okay, Papua New Guinea, Philippines. We talked about Philippines. Okay, also we talked about the Ruang somewhere here. Okay, and we talked about the other more countries, Henan province and so on. Okay, now let's come down to the next strait. That is the Sunda Strait we have already seen. Malacca Strait we have already seen. Now next one is the Lombok Strait. Okay, it is between two Bali and Lombok. Okay, so this is the Lombok Strait. We'll see in detail. Just a second. Here we can see. Okay, so this is the Banda Sea. We already saw when we were talking about the volcano. Just a second. Okay, here we see the Omboy Strait. This. And here we see the Vetar Strait. Alright. And this is the Timor Leste. And this is the part of Indonesia. These ones, the upper ones. These ones. Alright, so very, very important. These are the Omboy and Vetar Straits of East Timor Straits. Okay, now let's come to the next one. That is the Rafah and the West Bank. So why is all this in news? Because of recent trouble caused between Iran and Israel. So this is Israel's map we are seeing and the Gaza Strip here. This is Israel's map we are seeing and the Gaza Strip here. We focused on Israel when we were talking about the Red Sea, but this sea is the Mediterranean Sea, all right, not the Red Sea. And this is Jordan, the neighbor of the Israel. Okay, very important cities here and so on. The Strait of Tiran we saw. All right. Okay, but let's focus this time on the Israel and the West Bank. So West Bank is captured by the Israel as well as the Gaza. Okay, so it's trying to attack. These are both Palestinian territories, the West Bank as well as the Gaza Strip. So Israel is trying to finish off Hamas completely. And it is saying that the Rafah city has the last major stronghold of the Gaza Strip. And after Operation Elsewhere, dismantled 18 out of 24 militant group battalions, according to the military. But even in northern Gaza, the first target of the offensive, Hamas has regrouped in some areas and continue to launch attacks. So this is a very small area, and Israel is trying to completely destroy Hamas's presence here. You can see here, these are the crossings, small crossings. This is the Rafah crossing. Okay, and this is the Rafah city. So here Israel is saying that the Hamas is located and they will try to keep bombing this place. All right, this is Khan Yunis. It is located in the Gaza. Oh, all right. So let's see other countries which are located here, which can come into the prelims directly. Okay, this is the issue between one of the issue between Iran and Israel. Okay, so we have already seen what countries are lying south to the Israel. Okay, here we saw the Jordan. Here we saw the Saudi Arabia. There was Syria, and this was Lebanon. Okay, now we come to further east and we see the Iraq and adjoining the Iran, a quite big country, and this is the Isfahan. Okay, so these are the places where Israel has launched attacks earlier, and Iraq is also actively supporting the Yemen rebels. Okay, Oman and Yemen, we already know both of these countries. Okay, so they are located here down of the Saudi Arabia. All right. Now we see other countries as well. We already saw Oman. Okay, we can see the Yemen, Djibouti here, and so on. Okay, Iran here. Then Iraq here, Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, we all know, Israel, we all know, then Saudi Arabia. All right, and this is the Red Sea. This is the Strait of Tiran. Okay, this is the Suez Canal or Gulf of Suez, and then Suez Canal. And this is the Mediterranean Sea. This we all know, this is the Persian Gulf. And small countries are located here, UAE, Djibouti, okay, Kuwait here, and then there are countries here, Eritrea, Somalia, and so on, which are bordering the Red Sea. Okay, so this is the portion of Africa. Recently, we talked about Africa as well. We talked about the Botswana, if you remember. Okay, we talked about the neighboring countries such as Mozambique, South Africa, Namibia, Zambia, and so on. So please keep revising all these things. All right. Now let's come to the Moi River. So here I already told you the Moi River in the first map when we were talking about the Ruang again. Okay, so this river is located here. Not a major river, but the importance it is that forms the boundary between Myanmar and Thailand. Okay, now boundary is quite long. Let's say it comes from here and goes further down south, but the Moi River is only present in very small portion, only around 300 kilometers or so, 350 kilometers or so. Okay, but it is important because this is the river from which multiple people cross here to this side in the Thailand. Okay, because of attacks and there is fighting going on in the Myanmar. Okay, there's Janta rule. It's separate topic. Just know about the Moi River. Okay, so Moi River forms the portion between the border between Thailand and Myanmar, and the river is the scene of clashes between the Tamadok and Karen militants. Okay, so there is some militant activity going on here, which we can read in a separate topic, but not important for here. So Karen people do what? There are Karen people. So what do these Karen people do? They cross the river either in order to enter Thailand as refugees or go back to Burma. And it is only around 327 kilometer long. Okay, so not very long. And it is also known as the Thoingien River. It is a tributary of the Salween River. Moi River is a tributary of the Salween River. One more thing to note is that unlike most of the rivers in Thailand, the Moi River flows north in a northwest direction. All right, so the flow is sort of here to here, and this the similar kind of flow we saw in the Limpopo River, if you remember, Limpopo River. All right, so please tell me in the comment section that from where it originates and where does it go. All right, so about the Limpopo River, you can tell me in the comment section. All right, now let's see a map of this Southeast Asia. Okay, these are the countries. So Myanmar we see it makes border with China. Okay, with India it makes a long border here from all the member nations of the Northeast, especially except for Assam. Okay, here. And then we see its border with Bangladesh also here. Then furthermore it makes border with the Laos. All right, with Thailand, a long border, the longest border with the Thailand here. All right, very long border. And the Thailand goes on further here into the Malaysia, very small country again, and then Singapore. Okay, Malaysia has part here also, this side also. Okay, and we saw the Brunei here. Indonesia we have already seen. This is the Sunda Strait, the Lombok Strait, and the furthermore two straits here. Okay, this is the Strait of Malacca. And this is the Philippines. Here we saw the Ruang volcano in the southern side of the Philippines and the sort of northern side of the Indonesia. Okay, so this is the important, and this is the Henan province we see of the China. Okay, the free trade port and the Dubai model they are developing. So all in all, the lecture encompasses the complete map here. Now we should also take care of the capitals of these countries. So Cambodia's capital is, this is Cambodia here if you can see. Okay, and Vietnam here. So Cambodia's capital is Phnom Penh. Then Indonesia's Jakarta. Laos, the Vientiane. Then Malaysia has the Kuala Lumpur, very famous. All right, Myanmar has Naypyidaw, and Singapore is Singapore, and Vietnam has Hanoi. Okay, Hanoi, very important province. All right, now let's talk finally about the Philippines. Just a second. You can see the same thing from this map. It is essentially the same map. Okay, now let's talk about the Philippines directly. So India delivered BrahMos missile system to Philippines. All right, very important. Which missile system? BrahMos missile system to the Philippines. All right, and these are supersonic cruise missiles. So in January 2022, both countries had talked about this, and this deal has been finalized now. So let's talk about the BrahMos first of all. It is a medium range. Okay, it is not a long range, it is a medium range. Just remember from M. So medium range missile, and the engine is based on the Ramjet technology. Ramjet technology, and the speed is supersonic. Supersonic. Alright, it is a cruise missile. So that can be launched from submarine, ship, fighter aircraft, or TEL. And it is a joint. What is TEL? TEL is sort of a vehicle, okay, which is like a tank, this type of vehicle. Okay, from it, it can directly be. You must have seen it in 26 January parade and so. Okay, so it is a joint venture between DRDO and the Russian Federation's Machinostraya Nia, who together have formed the BrahMos Aerospace. Okay, one more thing that the BrahMos is a name made of the Brahmaputra River of India and the Moskva of the Russia. Okay, which river of the Russia? Moskva River of the Russia. Okay, here you can see the map of the Philippines. What we have done, we have delivered it three BrahMos missiles. Three BrahMos missiles. Okay, let's talk next about the Kutch district of Gujarat, from where a fossil has been found or located. Okay, this is the Kutch district of Gujarat, Kutch region of Gujarat, and from here the fossil of the largest snake that ever existed has been found. And what they are calling it, Vasuki indicus. Vasuki indicus. Alright, so this is the fossil of the largest snake that has been found in the world, and it is found from the Kutch district of Gujarat. Okay, here you can see the fossil remains, and paleontologists have discovered a massive fossil of the world's largest snake that ever existed in Gujarat, and they are found in a lignite mine. Okay, so lignite question can also be asked. It is a type of coal. There are multiple types of coal. Let's say stratas, peat, lignite. Okay, then there are coal, multiple layers. All right. And one more thing, that this fossil is 47 million years old. 47 million years old. And it was present, this snake was not, of course, it cannot survive right now, but it was present when Africa, India, and South America formed a single landmass. One more thing, that it had a broad and cylindrical body, suggesting a strong and robust physique. Okay, so what type of habitat it might have been that time? A marshy swamp type of habitat. Okay, and it existed within a warmer global climate compared to the present day. The warmer environment played a role in facilitating its immense size. Alright, so now let's talk about finally the Kempegowda Airport, International Airport. So this is the airport in Bangalore. Bangalore is located in the southern Karnataka. This is a map of Karnataka. Okay, it is also the capital of Karnataka, Bangalore here in Dakshin Kannada, and Mysore here. Both, all three are very, very famous cities. Okay, so why is it in news? Because it has won a prize, the best regional airport in India and South Asia, which in the 2024 Skytrax World Airport Award. Okay, so it is a very minor, let's say, news, but I have covered, it was present in the Hindu, that's why. So Skytrax Best Airport Award in regional category in India as well as South Asia. So can be asked in the simple exams, let's say, okay, along with the UPSC you must be preparing for. So that is all for the lecture and places in news for this week. This is Yatharth here. Thanks a lot. I'm signing off. I'll see you in the next lecture. Have a great day ahead. See you soon.